Hello, everyone.
Hey.
We really have
Hello.
we have to come up with a better launch. Instead of us just what's happening?
Hi and welcome.
Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome to it. It is CK Mornings, not quite prime time, episode 06 on the old countdown here. How's everyone doing tonight? I first of all think we should mention. Looks like Jen had a shower.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at
Big
you.
deal. Big deal over here.
Wow.
My
Jeez.
hair has recently been long enough to braid it, so I
Wow.
can style it now.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, welcome to it. That's nice. I feel like you've done something here nice for us tonight. I appreciate that. That's
Thank
nice.
you.
That's nice. A bunch of people jumping online here already. Hey, Courtney, what's going on? Paul Chauvin in the house. Courtney saying hi. Got JP, howdy, CK Bunch, and Katrina and Blenheim. Thanks, guys. And my buddy Josh. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Always got a friend in Josh. Thank you, pal. All right. Hey, guys. So welcome to episode 6. We've got some special guests going to join us. Whitney Burke from the Chatham-Kent Fire Department. She's going to jump online here in just a little bit. And Mike Uher, one half of the local band, have Toast and Jam, going to join us here in a little bit, too. So they will be part of the show here tonight on episode number 6. I'm going to get my headset back on here. I'm hustling. I was a little late after supper tonight. What'd you guys have for dinner tonight?
Jen,
Noodles.
you still got
Nope, I cooked before actually, and
Oh,
I made
wow.
sauce. So I'm fed, and I don't have to worry about my noodles now. So
You're fed and you showered and
Wow.
nice. What was on the menu at Little Amsterdam tonight, Manny?
Yeah, so we had some flatbread pizzas in the oven.
Ooh.
And used a bunch of leftovers from the fridge for it. Had some chicken thighs in the fridge that I cut up, made a barbecue chicken pizza, and then I had another pizza with some provolone and some prosciutto on there and some spaghetti sauce with some pasta sauce. So it's pretty good though, yeah.
What are you drinking, Jennifer?
it is a peach Perrier.
Oh, okay. All
It's quite
right.
good actually.
I thought we'd have a real good show. I thought that was the idea. So yeah, episode number 6. This has been great. Thanks everyone for tuning in as we've been doing this. Just trying to keep things light, and obviously that's our job. There's a lot that's going on in the world. I was talking to a couple people today, and it's a tough time. So we just try to keep it light, keep it fun, and keep it moving. We try to do that every morning on CK Mornings, and then obviously here with our not quite prime time. So I was challenged. I then in turn challenged the two of you to the Together at Home challenge that was started by Counselor Aaron Hall out in Wallaceburg. So he started this where you're supposed to go online and find some lyrics from one of the artists performing in the Together at Home concert, which is going to go down on Saturday. This is that big one that Lady Gaga came up with, and she started, and the names on it like who do we got? Alicia Keys, Billie Eilish, Billie Joe from Green Day, Ellen, J-Lo, Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello. We've got Paul McCartney, Taylor Swift, Stevie Wonder. Name anybody in the world of music. They're all part of the Together at Home concert. Lady Gaga, of course, will be part of it. Michael Bublé, hosted by Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Stephen Colbert. It's all going to happen on Saturday on, I think, every channel in Canada, and then it's all over the place. You won't miss it. So you had to find, from one of those artists, you had to find a lyric that made you think of COVID or the battle that we're all dealing with, and post it, and then share it, and then ask people to go online and donate towards the Chatham-Kent Health Alliance. I did post the link in the comments. There it is right there. So you can find it in the comments there on Facebook, but the link is right there. So Together at Home, post your lyrics. Who wants to go first? Okay, who wants to do it first? Jen, did you do your homework? You did? Matt? Let's start with Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie,
Okay.
what do you got for us here tonight?
I was looking through the whole list and I was like, man, there's so many good artists on there. And then I was looking at post my name on there too.
By the way, we had to post your name here because of your haircut. I love the name. Ka-chow. That is awesome.
So when I was going through, I was like, oh man, all of a sudden one of them really stuck out, and it was Sheryl Crow. I was like, yep. Sheryl Crow, there we go. So, and going back to my childhood, probably about 12, 13 years old, Soak Up the Sun. I'm starting to feel it, man.
Oh, nice.
Soak Up the Sun, yeah. So, just that whole chorus, I'm going to soak up the sun, tell everybody to lighten up, Gonna tell them I've got nobody to blame. Every time I feel lame, I'm looking up. So that's I'm looking forward to that summertime. That sun coming in, and just looking forward to these longer days and everything too, soaking up the sun. So that's what I was looking forward to.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, Jen, I came up with two, so I don't know. Do you want me to go with one here and then you go, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, that works.
All right. So my first one is this one from LL Cool J. And I actually wrote it down. It says, "Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my peers." So let's keep rocking. I got to get rid of that. There you go. Let me do that. So there you go. That is my LL Cool J. Together at home. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my peers. Mama said, knock you out. So LL Cool J will be part of that show. Jen, what do you got on the Together at Home challenge?
So I looked at all the artists. I found some of my favorites, one of which is Celine Dion,
Ooh.
Canada's queen.
Yes.
So I have been quarantined in my basement for the past 2 weeks almost, and I've been working from home. And all by myself.
Nice.
Don't want to be all by myself anymore. Celine Dion.
That's a good one. I love it.
Nice.
Very nice. Very good. Very good. Nice. All right. So I did too. I always go for extra credit. So my last one, this one just jumped out and I had to do it. It's from Sean Mendez, good Canadian kid. It says, "Oh, I'm good at keeping my distance." Oh, I'm good at keeping my distance. Very good. Hey, thanks, Aaron Hall, Chatham Kent Councillor, for coming up with that idea. You can, of course, go online and make a donation to the Chatham Kent Health Alliance Foundation's fight against COVID-19. There's the link. It's quite the link. But if you look up the Chatham Kent Health Alliance Foundation, and you'll get all the information right there, you can donate and help out those frontline workers doing their best to make sure we are taken care of. Whitney Burke is going to join us here at some point. She's not ready to go, but we'll find her from the Chatham Kent Fire Department. Matt, we were going to do 2 truths and a lie, and you were the one that was up here tonight. Jen, you're getting some love for your pick. Solid.
Nice.
Solid. That is awesome. Very nice. And Matt, all right, 2 truths and a lie here tonight. What have you got for us tonight? We have to figure out which one is the lie.
Yeah, okay. So 2 truths and a lie. Here we go. I came up with, I have my name on a beer. So there's a beer with my name on it.
Okay.
Second one is I can read and write in Dutch.
Okay.
And then the third one is I traveled around Europe by myself for 3 weeks wearing the same outfit for all 21 days.
Oh, boy. Okay, so you have a beer with your name on it.
Yeah.
You can read and write in Dutch.
Yeah.
And you traveled around Europe wearing the same thing for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Okay. Jen, you want to start in this one? What do you think?
I think the lie is the read and write in Dutch.
Read and write in Dutch. Jen's going to say that one. I know your brother brews some beer. I know you've been to Europe. I'm going to go with Jen on this one. Read and write in Dutch. Read and write in Dutch. Matt?
Yeah.
2 truths in a lie.
You got me.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Actually, I got the, I know. I know. So I know a little bit of Dutch, but not enough to get by. Not enough to do it. Hey, Mike Gardner saying I don't have a beer with my name on it. Here it is right here.
Oh, hold on.
There we go.
Well, how did you do that?
I picked it up. I was at the so talking about going around Europe. I was at the Heineken brewery in Amsterdam, and it says on there, you can't read it there, but it says brewed at Heineken Experience, and it has my name on it, so you could get a beer with your name printed right on the label. So I got it at the Amsterdam brewery.
Okay, well, I want to investigate these truths a little bit more. So you have the beer. We've seen that. You can't read and write. But the trip around Europe, you wore the same thing for 3 weeks?
Yeah, I wore the same outfit. So, I was paying for Ryanair, which is like one of the cheap domestic sort of like around Europe flights there. And I planned it out by myself, I traveled by myself, and I just had a backpack. That's all I had. So I didn't really have a whole lot of room for anything. So I ended up wearing the same sweater, the same pair of pants. And I think I brought maybe 3 pairs of underwear, maybe.
Wow.
And then I think I had 2 shirts, but I think I pretty much just wore one white shirt underneath it. And my sort of philosophy was, well, I didn't spend more than like 3 or 4 days in the same city. So by the time somebody might start looking at me and being like, isn't that the same outfit I'm got?
No wonder you and Jen get along so well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jen, this is the first new shirt I've seen you in about 2 weeks. Now,
Why change?
why
Exactly,
change?
exactly.
They don't see you on the radio, so.
If you're not getting
Very
it
true.
dirty, then why not? Yeah, just
Very true. Very true.
And I do my laundry, so
Oh yeah, I'm sure
I
you
can
do.
I can rotate through the same things quite quickly because I do my laundry.
Okay, we'll take your
Yeah.
word for it. All right, our first guest is here. It is Whitney Burke from the Chatham-Kent Fire Department. Let's pull Whitney in here. Hey, Whit, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good. Did you put your uniform on just for us?
Well, I didn't know. Like, this is my first kind of I don't know, official backstage Facebook Live thing.
Yeah.
And I find that if I mess up, hopefully people won't notice because they'll be like, she's in uniform. She's obviously correct, right?
Nice.
Like, yeah, it brings a little bit of credibility.
There's
That's
no
why I
credibility here.
showered today.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, we wanted to get you on. There's a couple things we want to talk about, and I kind of gave you a heads up on the first question because a lot of people are talking about this, and I thought let's go right to the source. Chatham-Kent has got a fire ban in place. We can't have the backyard fires, and I know people are upset about that, and they're saying, "Come on, we want something. We want to go outside. We want to have a fire. We want to hang out with our friends." Can you address that and why that's in place, and why the Chatham-Kent Fire Department's enforcing that?
Yes, absolutely. So I think there's a big misconception that people are thinking that the reason that we decided to suspend recreational fires, which are your backyard campfires, is because we're trying to limit social gatherings. So, friends and family coming over and spending time together. And well, by suspending these campfire permits, it does naturally lead to that. There's not that temptation to gather. It was really more about limiting these non-essential 911 calls during this critical time. So in April and May, our department sees an increase of calls that are linked to recreational fires. So, we're trying to limit the exposure. We don't want to have our first responders interacting with the community unnecessarily. And we also want to make sure that the resources that we have are there and available for the essential emergencies that can happen.
So you're not just being the fun police. There's reasons behind it. And as much as people get upset about it, there is reason behind it.
Absolutely. We are doing our best to keep the community safe. Again, we don't want to have unnecessary interaction. And what the community does actually has a massive effect on these non-essential calls. By not having a campfire, you're eliminating that potential for somebody to call in because you either don't have a permit or you're not obeying by the bylaw. Maybe your campfire is too big. Maybe the wind is producing smoke that's going in your neighbor's backyard. The list goes on and on. And we do have some calls that are just downright due to neighbor disputes, in which case it's not only the fire department that's on scene, it's also our colleagues at police who end up coming. And if that campfire did lead to an emergency situation, then we're looking at something like we saw this week, right? I mean, obviously, hopefully not that big, but if there's a huge response, you could have 10, 20, 40 personnel on scene. And I'm sure you're all aware of this, but it's very difficult to respond and put out a fire without being in close contact with each other. So, by people not having campfires, they're keeping themselves safe. They're keeping us safe and our families safe as well. It really is making an impact. And as cliche as it sounds, you really are saving lives. And yes, it can be seen as an inconvenience for sure, but the message is getting out and people are doing their part. I can say the first week we had about 17 calls that were due to recreational campfires. And I think that was just the messaging, right? It's just slowly starting to get out there. Last week it was cut in half. We only had 8. And this week we have only had 2. So, again, just by not having them, you're just removing that potential, right? It goes away. So, thank you for doing your part. Yeah.
Do we have any idea when we'll be able to have a fire again? Like what's the point that we are waiting to get to? Is it public health? Is it Dr. Colby? Who makes that decision?
Yeah, so it's a number of puzzle pieces for sure, as you can imagine, with any decision that impacts people's lives in the community. So the fire chief is taking direction from the province, provincially, federal directives, as well as Dr. Colby for sure in public health and whatnot. And again, that inconvenience is just kind of, it's a little bit of a trend right now, right? We're all doing what we can to keep each other safe, and not having a campfire as simple and it's simple. It sounds like a very simple thing, but it really is making a huge impact on how we're able to protect ourselves. So thanks.
You're getting some love online, Whitney for mayor. There you go. Hey, Whit, so there was a big story this week about, and you kind of referenced it there, that big fire on Colborne, I think it was. Originally, we heard tire fire. What did it end up being?
Oh, goodness. Thank you. So that was my fault.
Oh, sorry.
Completely? No, it's okay. So obviously I am one of the frontline, or one of the staff that has the ability to work from home, which is awesome. So I'm not in the office, and I received a call from Chief Case that said, he knows. He said, we've got something big going on here. We're going to need you to go to Chatham. So I was fumbling. Luckily, I had showered that day, so that was taken care of. But I was fumbling, and I was listening to scanners and reading our internal reports that come in, and I saw the word ties. And I'm dyslexic. I will put that out there. People who follow Chatham Kent Fire on social media, I know they see my mistakes, and thank you to anyone who's pointed them out. I try my best, but I saw piles with measurements, and then I saw the word ties, and so 100%. My fault. It wasn't tires. It was railroad ties.
Sorry to point that out. I feel bad now.
Okay, don't.
I feel bad.
I own it. We all make mistakes, and So
we were getting texts into the station because so obviously a fire draws a lot of attention, but you were getting a lot of people. We're not supposed to be gathering in groups, but they were all coming out to see the fire. Like we gotta be smart in those situations, don't we?
Yeah. Thank goodness for our colleagues, our police colleagues, who really helped with, crowd and traffic control with that. I get it. It was probably the biggest fire that in the 5 years I've been here, I showed up on scene, and, haven't seen flames like that ever. So I get it. I understand the attraction, the wanting to get out there and see what's going on. We need people to stay inside, and hopefully, that was not a fire that happens on the regular. So hopefully we won't have an incident like that again.
Well, there's your Chatham Kent Fire Chief weighing in.
Yeah,
Whitney
exactly.
very rarely makes mistakes. I can assure you. There you go. I was going to say, if you were trying to take notes as Chief Case was talking, you might have had a difficult time understanding him. But
I should have blamed it on him. But I do enjoy my job, so
That's funny. I have one more. I don't know if you guys, Whitney, you wanted to mention a story about a young girl that called 911. What was the story here?
Yeah, so actually, Councillor Aaron Hall just made me aware of this this afternoon. Apparently, there's a young girl. I just want to make sure I get her name right. We don't want a tire situation there.
Nice.
But Hannah Sands is her name, and she's an 11-year-old girl from Wallaceburg. And I think it was a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, I should say, she saw that her neighbor's house was on fire. And she was the one who went and got her grandmother and her mother, and they were the ones that called 911. So, she really potentially, saved lives, saved property. So I just wanted to give her a huge shout out. So thank you. I tried to call her grandma before I came on to say, like, I'm gonna message you or I'm gonna mention you today, but I didn't get a hold of her. So if anybody knows Hannah, please tell her how proud we are of her. And we are always encouraging young females to be involved in the fire service. So who knows? Maybe she's got a career ahead of her.
Nice.
That's awesome, guys. Did you have anything else, Jen or Matt?
Not about the fires that happened this week necessarily, but I was just thinking too. I mean, the nicer weather's starting up now, and a lot of people are going to probably be firing up their barbecues for the first time. I don't know if you had any, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I don't know if you had any safety tips just for things that people can look out for, especially when they're firing it up for the first time this season.
Yeah, for sure. So it's always a good idea to practice prevention. That's what we are all about. And people are home more and they are multitasking. A lot of people are multitasking. I mean, I am working from home, trying to teach my children, trying to cook 3 meals a day, which, isn't easy. So we do always recommend that you watch what you cook and you stay in the kitchen. For those barbecues, when you're firing them up for the first time, just inspect everything, make sure that there's, no broken elements or anything like that. I think most importantly, we have great programs that we are usually able to do where we're able to come into your homes and check your alarms. And, we're always on top of that in the community. And because of the circumstances right now, those have kind of had to come to a standstill. So if I could just ask everyone who is listening, watching, or can phone a friend and let them know, just check those alarms. I mean, we are home and we are more likely to have a fire. The more we're home, the more likely we are to have a fire. So just check those alarms, make sure they work, make sure they're not outdated. They do need to be replaced every 10 years. And practice your home escape plan. I mean, you're looking for something fun to do. My poor children, we've been practicing every day. Right?
Oh, nice.
Here comes the alarm.
Awesome, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm half kidding.
Idea.
I'm half
That's
kidding.
a good idea. Clear the house.
Yeah. But I mean, they're
That's
great
awesome.
activities, and there's lots of stuff on our social media. If you follow CK Fire on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm trying to put out activities for the kids and stuff that have to do with fire safety. So check them out.
Oh, that's good.
Whitney, we appreciate it. Jen, do you have anything you want to jump in, or are we good there?
Yeah, since more people are cooking at home, how do you put out a fire on your stove if it comes to that?
Jen, hold up.
No.
Jen, is there a fire on your stove right now?
Not currently, but when I
Okay.
first moved out of my house, that happened.
It did? Oh, okay.
Years ago.
So I will be serious in a second, but I was really worried you were going to ask me for like my favorite recipe or like something
nice.
that I cooked. And I was like, oh my God, I've already admitted that I am dyslexic and make mistakes. And now I'm going to have to admit to the entire world that I don't cook. So that's a great question, Jen. And the best thing to do is when you are cooking is just keep a lid beside you. If you have something on the stovetop, if something does catch fire in the pan, just slide the lid over top. It removes the oxygen and will put the fire out. Also make sure that you're not wearing any long flowy sleeves. I don't know what people are wearing these days when they're cooking, but in all honesty, just make sure that you don't have that loose clothing. Keep oven mitts and washcloths and towels and stuff. A lot of people think that rack on I just called it a rack. It's a handle. The handle on the stove. They think that is for the tea towel, right? And it's not. It's a handle. You shouldn't have towels there. So just keep things that can burn away from fire. I mean, it's basic stuff. So and stay safe.
Whitney, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and keep up the good work. Even on the social media, you don't make very many mistakes. You're good.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jen and Matt. Nice to see you guys.
Me
Thanks
too.
for having me. And
See you, Whit. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Be well. There you go. Whitney Burke from the Chatham Kent Fire Department. We gotta focus in on Matt here because Marianne pointed out something very interesting here.
Uh-oh.
Look at here. Looks like Matt has horns on his head.
I got horns on my head.
That's awesome. Whitney, hey, thanks for jumping in here tonight. Can we get permit the car? Sorry, Leon. Whitney's taken off. We'll have to get an answer from her there. She can't take the heat. Go ahead, Matt.
So what I understand, from what I remember reading, agricultural permits are still going ahead for fires. Okay. So you can still get an agricultural one for those farm fires. but it's just recreational ones that they are not accepting.
All right. Hey, our next guest is standing by. Let's bring him in here. He has been waiting a while. We do appreciate him jumping on tonight. It is Mike Uher, one half of Toast and Jam of the Mike Uher solo project. Michael, how are you?
Doing very well. How are you guys?
Very good, very good. We wanted to get you on here tonight because you've been doing a great job on social media yourself. Obviously, being in a band in Toast and Jam, and you've performed like everywhere in Southwestern Ontario. You've been all over the place, and with this pandemic, your gigs have dried up, but you jumped on social media and you've been performing there. How's that been going for you?
Oh, it's fun. It was a suggestion from somebody. I can't remember who. And said, I should do that. I did it about 3 Sundays ago, and then I decided it's going to be a Sunday night regular thing for the next little while. Anyway, every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, I play for a couple hours and try to do as many requests as I can, and try to get people's minds off of other things for a little while. Anyway, they seem to really appreciate that, and frankly, I love the chance to kind of keep my fingers working and
Nice.
Yeah, keep singing.
That's awesome. You got some family that's jumping on. There you go. Hi, Toast. So that was my next question.
Man, yeah.
And you probably get this all the time. Are you Toast or are you Jam? Of course, yourself and Mark perform all over the place, but so you would be Toast, is that right?
Well, yeah, and the quick version of the story is that Mark and I were driving to Windsor one night, I think on a Thursday night, because we used to play in Windsor every Thursday for 8 years down there, and at that point it had been several months that we had been playing regularly in Windsor, and probably 2004 or 5, and well, maybe earlier, and people were saying, well, people would always ask us which one's Toast, and we would kind of make an effort to say, well, neither one of us is Toast. It's the name of the band, not the name of us.
Yep.
And then we just kind of threw our hands up and said, well, I guess we got to go along with what people are saying. So why don't I be Toast and you be Jam? So it was as simple as that on the way to Windsor one day.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So when is your next show like scheduled? Like obviously we don't know when we're going to get together and be able to get out for a drink or go see a show or anything, but do you have a show on your schedule that is next that you're kind of holding out hope that we can get to? Are you check right now?
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already canceled quite a few, but
yeah.
We've got some private shows coming up end of April, early May, but they're one's been moved to the following year, believe it or not, next April, and the other one's just been moved to September. So hopefully everything is still clear then. The problem gets towards the end of middle to end of May when the weddings start popping up.
Yeah,
those people have to make decisions soon. Well, some of them have already been made. They've got emergency dates, a second date set up, and yeah, we're at the mercy of whatever they tell us to do. We can't.
We sit and wait. Like I can imagine what the next show is going to be like, though. Like your first show back out, like the energy you're going to have, and the crowd's going to have for that first show.
Yeah, you're right, and I hope everybody kind of grasps that sensation of we really do have to kind of live each moment like it could be the last, not in the sense of we're going to disappear, but we may not be able to do what we get to do anymore. I know that, and I don't mean just in the music sense, but you never know what forces are going to come up and change what we've been used to doing all our lives, right? So
yeah,
you gotta live it up and enjoy the moments.
For that, 100%. Jen, Matt, Mike's going to perform a little bit for us. Did you guys have any questions before he does a song or two here?
So you're practicing. Go ahead, Jen.
Do you know any Stevie Nicks?
Actually, I do.
All right, that's my question.
She's happy. She's happy. What'd you have?
I won't do it. I won't play it because I already asked my daughters. I said, what song should I play? And they said, well, something fun and happy. So the Stevie song to do is kind of sad, so I'm not going to do it.
Nice.
Next time you'll have to get a private performance, Jen. Matt, what were we going to ask?
I was just going to ask how you keep you keep practicing during the week then, because usually you're probably doing a couple of shows a week or something like that, right?
Yeah. We've been doing 2 shows a week or 2 or more on average, I guess, for a long time now, and that was our means of practicing, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If we had new songs we want to learn, we'd message each other, hey, let's try such and such a song next weekend at the beginning of the night. Like if it was a bar or something, yeah, you can kind of get away with trying out a brand new song at the beginning of the night, right? So that used to be our way to kind of practice. We don't actually get together and practice songs. So without doing that, I've been actually, the Sunday night things has been really helpful for me, because people will be on just as they are tonight and requesting songs, and I try to get to as many as I can, but some of them I don't know. They're asking for songs I've never played before. So what I'm trying to do now is jot down those songs, and for the following Sunday I try to learn a few of them, if not all of them. So
That's pretty cool.
this Sunday I've got a few this Sunday that I've never done before, and then we'll see what happens.
Nice.
So is that on the Toast and Jam site, Mike, or is that on your personal Facebook?
This personal Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Mike Uher page.
Find it right there. Well, you've got a couple. You got a song or two. How many do you want to play?
How much am I getting paid again? I'm just
the check's in the mail. Jen, you got that right. The treasure of this.
How about I play "Devil Went Down to Georgia" for Matt's horns on his head there?
Yeah. All right. This is Mike Uher on the Not Quite Primetime podcast here.
All righty. I've got a smile on my face and I've got 4 walls around me. Got the sun in the sky and the water surrounds me. Oh, hey, I win now, but sometimes I lose. I've been bad, but I never lose. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Jeannie sings on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. Oh, you know, she might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. Oh, and I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright, it's alright. Cause in this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. It's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. You know, it's up to you now if you sink or swim. Just keep the faith that your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say, I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright, it's alright. Cause I've got a smile on my face and I've got 4 walls around me.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
I muted our mics too, so we wouldn't talk over you and sing along and ruin your song.
I was pretty offended by that, actually.
That is awesome.
The next Toast and Jam live show, Matt, you're welcome to come up.
Nice. Yeah.
Did you have one more for us, Mike, or did you have another one you want to do?
By the way,
just
so you know, that was the first applause I've received in over a month. So I really thank you.
Well, one more, and you get a standing ovation.
Oh, alrighty.
You're all wearing pants, right?
Yeah.
We're all wearing pants.
Okay. Hey, just a message for y'all. Take it easy, right? Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I can set the women on my mind. Oh, they want to hold me to you, want to stone me once to shoot a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Not enough while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Find a place to make your stand and take it easy. Oh, yeah. Well, I was standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. It's such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down. Yeah, look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know you sweet love. Don't say maybe. We married, so we may win. Oh, you'll never be here again. Oh, then about 5 million. Take it easy, oh yeah. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind. I'm looking for a love I won't go my gun. So hard to find. So take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I've gotta know if you're sweet love gonna save me. Oh, 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 and we're gonna take it easy. Wanna take it easy.
Hey!
Hey, nice.
Standing ovation. There we go. There we go. Very nice. That is great, Mike. We really appreciate it. We'll tune in on your personal Facebook, Mike Uher. Find it online on Facebook. You might get some friend requests, but find it there. And we'll tune in Sunday. What'd you say, 8 o'clock?
Yep, 8 o'clock.
All right. Mike, thank you very much
Sounds
for joining
good,
us tonight.
Thanks,
We
guys.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
There's
thanks.
Mike Uher with Toast and Jam. He would be the toast portion of Toast and Jam. Thank you, Mike. We do appreciate that. Well, there you go. Our first performance on the Not Quite Prime Time. So he set
Nice.
the bar there. Very nice. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Thank you, Christy, for awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So tune into Mike. You can find him on Facebook, Mike Uher, and you can tune in on Sunday and watch him right there. Make some requests. It's pretty cool because just like how we're doing here, people can throw up a request and then he plays it. So we're not getting any live shows anytime soon. So that's really neat. So. Do you guys have anything else you want to wrap up there? What do you got for us?
I got something exciting for tonight.
Oh,
Pick this up today.
What do you
Pick
got
this
here?
up today.
Oh, yes.
The
Yes.
new release. The new
Yeah,
release.
from
There-
Suns
there
here.
we
Let
go.
me get
Yeah,
you on here.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. The
There's
new
a
release
toilet
from
paper
Suns.
roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I saw the toilet paper roll. I was like, oh man, I gotta get some of that. So I
That's
can't wait
awesome.
to crack one of those open and just try it out. Yeah.
I got one in the fridge. I thought about drinking it, but I'm a responsible adult and I will not be drinking tonight. So I will do that tomorrow night, Matt. But you go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do whatever you need to do. Lauren says, okay, yeah, it's public, so you don't have to be friends with him there on Facebook. You can just jump on and follow Mike on Sunday night. So, Jen, you got anything to wrap up here?
No.
You're all good.
I
Jen, you got
finished Ozark.
Oh, what'd you think? Don't give anything away.
Wild.
Matt, are you on Ozark? Did we talk
Wild.
about this?
I gotta get onto it now.
Yeah.
I'm probably looking for a new show soon, so I'll have to get in that.
All right. Well, guys, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Mayor Dan Carniff is on tomorrow just after 7:30, and we'll have some fun tomorrow and wake you up again. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Bye.
There you go. Not quite prime time tonight.